Frederick Hiam's is a family-owned business. Our chairman today is Christopher Wilson, who's the great-grandson of Sir Frederick Hiam, who started the business back in the late 1800s. We're on the Fields estate just outside Brandon in West Suffolk. A number of years ago, some of our export customers asked us if we grew parsley root. They're already buying parsnips from us and we're interested in parsley root. I have to confess, I didn't know what it was, and after a bit of research, discovered that it was very popular in Northern Europe and Eastern Europe, and in certain cultures like the Jewish cuisine. So we actually started to grow it and have been exporting it now. This is our third year. Some of our East European workers who actually don't like parsnips and never take them home are very pleased that we're actually growing parsley root. They actually use it in their culture, in their cuisine, in soups and stews, and include the top, which has a very strong parsley flavour. Here you can actually see where some of the resident deer have been nibbling at some parsley root, which is tolerated by ourselves. They live here and is part of our conservation efforts. It's quite interesting that they actually eat the parsley root and quite enjoy it, whereas they don't touch parsnips. We're here right on the edge of a field on the Brandon Fields estate, which is quite a wooded area. Here we have one of our environmental stewardship scheme margins. This one in particular has a mixture of wild bird seed areas planted to it, and quite important for this area, bare ground plots, which are nesting habitat for the stone curlew, which is a particularly rare bird which is being encouraged to breed on this farm. So the parsley root is grown in a similar fashion to parsnips in a bed system, sort of on one of those beds. We drill it in the spring. The crop then takes quite some while to germinate, and once germinated we have to use inter-row cultivation to keep the weeds under control, as there's no herbicides that we can actually use. It's then quite a long growing season and won't be ready to harvest until late September, and then we ground store the crop, harvesting it as we need it throughout the winter into early spring. For me, parsley root is quite an interesting vegetable. It's very versatile. It has a strange flavour. It's a mix between celery, parsley, parsnip, a bit of hint of carrot. And unlike parsnips, you can actually eat it raw, grated. It's quite good in a remoulade, or you can actually use it as you would a parsnip. So roast it, mash it, turn it into a puree. Very versatile, very tasty.